Hello, this is Mark from Productive Computing and Productive Computing University. Thanks for joining us on this video. We are talking about GetLiveText, which is a function in FileMaker that allows you to use machine learning to extract text from an image. In this new feature, starting with FileMaker 2024 and above, you can now get the live text as you could before, except this time you have a little bit more context by having this returned as JSON, which also includes the X and Y coordinates of where on that image the text appears. This can be helpful during the reconstruction or the interpretation of the text. For example, if you were extracting words from an image, and specifically you wanted to target the words that appeared at the bottom right of a given set of images, you could say, based on the X and Y coordinates here, pull out those words, or you can use those X and Y coordinates as a guideline for where that text might appear to make your interpretation more correct or more accurate. So here I have a simple demo file. On the left side, I have a container field from the Super restaurant, Santa Monica, California. This is a mock receipt. And in order for the GetLiveText functionality to work, you're going to need some form of an image. Not a PDF, but rather a JPEG, an HEIC file, or a PNG file for starters. They may open up to more compatible files down the road, but for now, those are the ones that are most likely going to be used for this. And I am running on a Macintosh, which is another requirement here from the desktop standpoint. If you're using FileMaker Pro, it has to be on a Macintosh. This also works on FileMaker Go, so that would mean that you could extract text from images taken with your phone that end up in a container field in FileMaker Go, as well as your iPad. So it takes advantage of a function. So I have two buttons here, one that's called GetLiveText and one that's called GetLiveTextAsJSON. This first button is connected to this script called GetLiveText. And you can see here, I'm just doing a simple set field. And the field that I'm setting is the extracted text, and I'm putting that in a text field. And then the function here is simply called GetLiveText, and it needs two pieces of information. The first piece it needs to know is the container field itself. So it has to be a container field that it's extracting from. And then the second parameter is where you're going to designate the language, the anticipated language of the text you want to extract. And to see a complete list of languages, you can go to the help file on this. In fact, that's easy to do right from within the product. You can just do GetLiveText and then highlight the function here, and then just click on the question mark down here, and that will immediately open up a web browser for you to analyze that particular function. And here is your list of languages, and it is entered just like this. So if I wanted US English, I could just copy this particular character set, put it here in the quotes, and now the machine learning, which is built into your Macintosh, which this function takes advantage of, will understand that we're looking for English when we extract that. So let's go perform that now. I'll get the live text. So it just grabs all the text from the image and makes it appear here. And the order of this is from high to low on the sheet. So we can see Super restaurant, then it followed by the address, the city, state, zip, the date, and then the time actually doesn't appear until later here. So it looks like it gets through all of the left side. Then it goes through the time on the right side and all these codes, and then the expiration date, the total. Then it goes to thank you, and then all the way to sample. So there is a rhyme or a reason as far as how it parses the text based on location. But if you look at this at first glance, there's no way for the computer to tell. If it didn't have the image, there's no way for the computer to at all tell exactly where on the image this text appears. And that's where our next function comes in very handy, the GetLiveTextAsJSON. So let me go show you that. Here we have a script doing almost the exact same thing. We're still extracting the text to that text field, and we're still using a function that works essentially the same way. We have the container target, and then we have the anticipated language, and this one's called GetLiveTextAsJSON. Now, the results of this will be completely different in terms of the structure. When I perform this, I do get the same words extracted, except that they're broken down into far greater detail in terms of their X and Y coordinates and location on the image itself. So that is significant because now we have awareness of location. So if we wanted to identify that text that appears at a certain location within a certain image relative to the entire image size, we've got the key to do that. We've got the code to decode it. So let me put this into practical terms. Let me copy this string of text into a typical chat engine. I'll use ChatGPT, and I'll bring this over with a brand new chat. And we'll say, identify all the text on the right side of this extracted receipt. And I'll paste our text in here. So here's my full prompt. Identify all the text on the right side of this extracted receipt. Again, there's no indication whatsoever what's on the right, what's on the left, what's on the top, what's on the bottom. So let's see what kind of results we'll get. So it did its best, and I think it literally just repeated everything. Or just about. It didn't include the super restaurant, but it did start at the date, and then I guess it's assuming this is all on the right. So not exactly the greatest response. Now I'll create a brand new chat with the exact same prompt, but this time we'll make the text appear as JSON, and that's what we're going to give it for the text on the right. Okay, we get a much different result. Now let's compare this result, which I'll take a quick screenshot of so I can bring it over. We'll hide the chat window for a second, and we'll take a look. So according to this, because we have the JSON identifiers and the X and Y coordinates are exposed, it knows exactly that time, these merchant numbers, the terminal number, the sequence number, the host number, expiration date, along with the subtotal, the tax, and the amount, all appear on the right side of the receipt. That becomes infinitely more powerful than just random text being returned. Now, where could you use that? So knowing that we have location awareness, that means you could get the live text, use some sort of AI integration, and say, identify the top rightmost number and consider this the ID and tell me what that ID is. Or perhaps locate the information at the top middle. This will be your vendor. Now, this is sort of a crude example, and it's also not exactly a great example because there are many APIs already in the marketplace that allow for proper receipt extraction that would make this look like child's play. Yes, it comes at a cost, but in today's day and age, receipt extraction is a highly refined and well-established process. But if you had something very unique to a particular organization, a unique invoice or a unique document that you wanted to scan, and then after it was scanned, you wanted to identify certain numbers or certain pieces of information on that document based on location, this GetLiveTextAsJSON function could come in very handy. This is a pretty simple file, but I'll still make it available through the FileMaker Features and Free Resources course available at Productive Computing University. There'll be no charge to enroll in that. You can access this file along with several others as you continue your FileMaker learning journey. Thanks for joining me on this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.